Expose Evil here. Like, share, subscribe. Today I'm doing a video on a satanic ritual abuse case from 2004 that I just heard about the other day. This is in Massachusetts. No, I'm sorry. This is in Louisiana. And the guy's name is Austin Trey Bernard. And he was a Satanist pretending to be a Christian pastor, and they owned a church. Now, listen to one of my favorite channels, A Call for an Uprising. This is where I heard it from.
A very disturbed person who was involved in molesting children, killing animals in front of the children, and scarring them for life, yet it never makes mainstream media, right? It gets buried, even though this should be the stuff that should be leading in on the news so people know how to protect children, how to protect their own children. But no, it doesn't ever happen that way. Austin Trey Bernard is the man's name, who was involved in some of the most gruesome, disgusting acts you can possibly imagine. And what happens a lot is these cases occur around the church. Now, this is one of the things that leads people away from Jesus Christ, because the media has taken the notion of a church, and people don't think, they just hear that. They hear priests, they think pedophile. They hear church, they think hypocrites, bigots, pedophiles. That's what they think, because the media has created that. These Satanists run churches as fronts, okay? Do you think that the Vatican, that these people really worship Jesus Christ? It's a front, just like most of these churches are. In this case, it's the same thing. The Hosanna Church, where the guy who, one of the leaders of the church, Austin Trey Bernard, was charged with aggravated rape of a 2-year-old, which was his own daughter. He talks in detail about his occult rituals, about killing animals and drinking blood in front of his daughter. Monica Bernard, his ex-wife, who now lives in Ohio, testified for the prosecution. She said her former husband sexually abused their daughter until she was about 2 years old. That means from an infant age. So people hear this stuff and they just think it's some sicko, some pervert. And his wife exposed this to the court, that he was a Satanist and an occultist. He was not a follower of Jesus Christ. She also testified that Trey Bernard, Paul Fontenot, and Louis LaMonica had a homosexual relationship. These were other men involved in this pedophilia ring that was run out of a church. She said that the rapes of the children took place in every room of the former church, which was located off of U.S. Highway 51 in Louisiana. He said this was done to defile the house of God. He said Satan was everywhere. Monica said, the ex-wife, that when she asked him why he was sexually abusing his own daughter, he said he wanted to make her non-human, or nothing more than an object of his pleasure. She said she was told of satanic or occult rituals at the church, including what she said was animal sacrifice and drinking of blood. When she decided to move to Ohio, she said she gathered up several costumes, some of which may have been or may have had an occult purpose that he owned. Okay, this is just another case of an adult, a parent, abusing his own child and other children, using a church as a front. These stories get buried and covered up, and nobody has the courage to talk about it. I talk about it because it needs to be known, because there's Christians out there who are lukewarm, who don't want to address it. And then there's other people on the fence who don't know what to believe as far as Jesus Christ. Sometimes hearing this stuff scares them into picking up a Bible. And as far as I'm concerned, that's good. If you're scared now hearing these stories because you never thought that the boogeyman and all this stuff out there existed because they make it sound like fiction, and it makes you grab your King James Bible and read it, that's good. Okay? You can't find salvation through me or anyone else. You have to find it on your own, which is only through Jesus Christ. That's it.
Amen.
So scaring people into finding this stuff out, scaring people into picking up their Bible through finding out about the occult, to me, does wonders for people's lives. It helps people see that this world is not new age and cookie cutter. We have too many Christians out there who are singing Kumbaya and crying in front of the public, pretending that they're crying tears.
Now, I don't know if everyone knows about the satanic ritual abuse cases from the 70s to the 90s. There were like hundreds of them throughout this time. And what the government did was they classified it under satanic panic.